Hello, I am Maggie Langrick, the publisher at LifeTree Media, a hybrid publisher of nonfiction books that help, heal, and inspire. We're really honored this year to have had two of our books win a Benjamin Franklin Award from the Independent Book Publishers Association, or IBPA for short. The Sacred Path of the Soulmate is a silver winner in the body, mind, and spirit category. This is a beautiful book with such a life-affirming, empowering message about the nature and purpose of human love relationships. In it, the author redefines the concept of the soulmate. Most Westerners think of a soulmate as a sort of a perfect partner that we'll only meet when we're evolved enough to deserve them, if we should ever be so lucky. But this author writes that the purpose of our soulmate is actually to compel us to confront our human flaws and grow through them. Relationships between soulmates are not supposed to always be smooth. They may be messy or rife with challenges, but the important distinction is that our soulmate makes us want to be a better person, and this motivates both people in the relationship to work through the tough times together. He calls this kind of relationship true romantic love and says that it is the universe's way of compelling us all to grow spiritually. Growing Strong Girls is also a silver winner, this time in the two-color interior design category. It offers parents practical tools to cultivate meaningful connection with their preteen daughters. As girls approach adolescence, it's all too common for their self-esteem and their performance at school to plummet. It can be heartbreaking for parents to see their lively, independent daughter begin to doubt her self-worth and even drop activities that once brought her joy. Studies have shown that the very best defense that a parent can offer their daughter against the perils of adolescence is meaningful connection on the girl's terms. Our author shows readers how to support their daughters to navigate the tricky terrain of social media, friendships, and schoolwork. But today I want to talk to you about how hybrid publishing proved to be the winning model for the indie authors of these books. If you're not familiar with it, hybrid publishing is an author-financed, professional alternative to self-publishing and traditional publishing. At LifeTree, we are facilitators rather than gatekeepers. In fact, we want to become known as the most supportive publishing company on the planet. Our authors hire us to develop their books to a high professional standard. Then we publish those books to the trade under our imprint and return most of the proceeds from sale to the author. This access to market is so important to indie authors' success, and it's virtually impossible for them to achieve through self-publishing. For authors who don't have the kind of platform that traditional publishers are generally looking for, hybrid publishing offers an alternative way into the trade. This was especially important to Gerald C., author of Sacred Path of the Soulmate. Gerald is a Buddhist philosopher who has spent decades researching and writing about spirituality, reincarnation, and the role that relationships play in our spiritual evolution. But in his day job, Gerald is a tax auditor. He has interviewed thousands of couples and individuals from all walks of life about their love lives and spiritual beliefs, but he doesn't have a big platform or even any formal credentials. Hybrid was the lifeline that got his book in front of the readers whose lives he wanted to impact. Editorial support was also critically important to Gerald, partly because English is not his first language. Not that he was short on words. The manuscript Gerald submitted to us was more than 90,000 words in length, far too long for the genre. It was packed full of wisdom and thought-provoking ideas, but they were a bit disorganized, and much of the language was too academic for lay readers to follow easily. We paired Gerald with a developmental editor who reorganized the chapters, cut the overall length by a third, and gave him specific rewriting instructions, then coached him through his revisions. Because the hybrid model allowed Gerald to access the level of support he needed, we were able to pour on the resources where they could make the most difference to create this award-winning book. Lindsay Sealey is an educator who runs a coaching practice for school-age girls and their parents, teachers, and caregivers. Her focus is on helping girls to build self-esteem and resilience and to identify their personal values and goals. Lindsay has impeccable style and creative flair. She really knows her audience's preferences. Her book was also an important part of her business's brand, so Lindsay had very strong instincts about what she wanted it to look like. Lindsay knew that she wanted this book to be as easy to dip in and out of as a magazine. She wanted it to be beautiful and contemporary. She preferred dots down the decorative page edge rather than the stripes that we'd originally proposed. And she knew exactly the shade of blue that she wanted. Here she is, choosing it with our designer. It turned out that Lindsay's instincts were spot on. It is her influence that made her book a Ben Franklin Award winner in interior design. And it was hybrid publishing that gave her the freedom to get this deeply involved in the design process. Of course, every author wants to reap financial rewards from their book, and this is where hybrid publishing really pays off. Our authors typically receive more than 50% of net receipts on copies sold through bookstores. Even better, they keep 95% of the list price on books they sell directly. As book publishers, our job is to bring new ideas to readers. But at LifeTree, we believe that we also have an important role to play in helping authors to reach their goals. Thanks in part to recognition from the IBPA and its Benjamin Franklin Award program, hybrid publishing is expanding the range of options available so that every indie author can access the resources they need and get their books into the hands of the readers whose lives they're seeking to impact.